So how about the call from the Labor Party not to front for the COVID inquiry, from Jacinda Ardern to Chris Hipkins, Grant Robertson, Aisha Beryl? No one is willing to show up publicly, so next week's hearings are off. Chris Hipkins is with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
Do you realise how shocking this looks?
What's that, Mike?
You not turning up.
Well, I have turned up. I've turned up to the Royal Commission twice. I was interviewed by the first Royal Commission, I was interviewed by the second Royal Commission, and when they sent through written questions, I gave them about 20 pages of answers. As the Royal Commission themselves said yesterday, I've answered every question that they've asked and given them every piece of information that they've asked for.
My apologies. You're not turning up in public.
Well, I mean, the Royal Commission themselves have said that they're not holding any further public hearings. They've set out a variety of reasons for that. And one of the things that they said in their minute of the decision that they took not to hold further public hearings was that the ministers, the former ministers concerned, have answered every question that's been put to them.
Right. So is it on Illingworth or is it on you to be the better person?
Well, I mean, ultimately, the Royal Commission made this decision themselves. But, you know, let's be clear, I've appeared before them. I gave them, they asked me to be available for 2 hours of interviews, which I did. Yeah. And then they ran out of questions after about an hour.
That's fine, but they may be incompetent. I don't know because I've not seen it, and I've not seen you either. That's the whole point of this. People would like you to be seen to be held to some level of account. Is there something wrong with that?
Well, Mike, you've got the highest rating breakfast show in New Zealand, and here I am answering your questions. If you've got questions about the COVID response, fire away.
But if it's the Mike Hosking breakfast COVID inquiry, that's fine, but it isn't. There's a Royal Commission set up, or a COVID inquiry set up in this country to get to the bottom of one of the most important events in this country's history, and you don't even want to front publicly.
But as I said,
No. I know what you've said, but you're not fronting publicly. You're actively avoiding fronting publicly.
Well, I'm here now. I mean, it's great that you've invited me on for the second time this year. You know, and every day I appear before the media and I answer questions, and people can ask me whatever they like.
But if that's an acceptable excuse, Chris, then we don't need an inquiry. Is that what you're saying? We don't need an inquiry, just I'll turn up on the media.
Well, I mean, the first Royal Commission, I think, answered all of the questions on COVID very well. That was quite critical of the previous government. They indicated things that we thought we could have done better. And it's difficult to know what the second Royal Commission is going to say different to that. But I mean, let's wait and see what they come up with.
But is that part of your problem? Part of the problem, you call it a stitch up. This is part two. You think is for conspiracy theorists.
Well, I mean, the second Royal Commission themselves have said that we've answered every single question that they've put to them, and they have no further information that they wanted to ask. When they said that they wanted to do a hearing again, to basically repeat the episode, they said that they were going to ask exactly the same questions and that there wasn't any further information they needed.
So
what's the point?
You don't see the optics of it.
Well, I mean, as I said, the Royal Commission themselves have said that we've answered every question.
Yeah, but I don't know what those questions are. I don't know whether Illingworth's worth a pinch of salt. I wouldn't have a clue because no one can see it.
But all of that is going to be public information.
Yeah, but it's not at the moment. And there's no point. There's no point saying it'll be made public, and then with the benefit of hindsight, we can go, well, hold on, they didn't ask this, and you didn't say this, and we wouldn't mind another go. Why can't we just see it? The British system, for example, you get to see what's going on. Publicly elected officials get to be held to account publicly.
Well, that's not been New Zealand's past practice. No Royal Commission has ever held public hearings involving ministers before. Following the Christchurch earthquake, for example, following the terrorist attack in Christchurch, the practice the current Royal Commission are following is the practice every Royal Commission in New Zealand's history have followed.
Right, so you agree with the idea that you shouldn't be held to account publicly. This is a good way of conducting business, and people should just accept that as it is.
I'm held to account publicly every day, Mike.
No, I know, but not in the sense of this specific commission. Should Illingworth call you? Because I understand he's got the power to do so.
That's a question for him, not a question for me.
I know. Should he? What would your advice to him be?
Well, I don't give Royal Commission's advice. I answer their questions, and that's exactly what I've done.
Okay. Did you coalesce with Robertson and Verrill and Ardern to make this sort of a collective decision?
We had representatives in common who, corresponded with the Royal Commission, but each of us individually briefed that representative.
Who's the representative?
Well, at the moment, it's been Dentons.
Who? Oh, the company, you mean?
Yes, that is correct. Yep.
Okay. So they advised you not to appear, or you advised them that you wouldn't be appearing?
Well, see, again, you're mischaracterising it. I said I was very happy
it was an open question.
Commission.
No, appearing publicly. Just for future reference, for the rest of the questions in this interview, I'm referring to you appearing publicly, right? So was it Dentons who advised you not to appear publicly, or did you advise them?
Well, the thing is, you're misrepresenting my position, Mike. I have appeared before the Commission.
You've not appeared publicly before the Commission.
Well, I have answered all of the Commission's
I'm not saying
questions.
that. I've said you have not appeared publicly before the Commission. Did they advise you not to appear publicly, Dentons?
I indicated to the Commission that I was very happy to cooperate with the requests for information, and I have done that.
Did Dentons advise you not to appear publicly?
Well, one of the things that Dentons did raise with us, they raised several issues. One was that no ministers had previously done this, and that it would create a precedent if we did so. The second thing they raised was concerns about the fact that people who had already appeared publicly before the Royal Commission had been the subject of significant abuse, and that is a concern that the Royal Commission themselves, have acknowledged in the decision that they took yesterday.
So the spin doctors told you not to appear publicly, and you went, "Thanks very much, I'll take that advice."
No, I don't think that's correct.
Well, it's just what you explained to me. You said that there were troubles with people appearing, and that appeared to be up your alley, and you said, as a result of that, no, I won't be appearing publicly.
Well, that's your spin on it, Mike.
Well, is it their spin and their advice to you?
Well, I just set out what their advice to me was.
So, just for the record, their advice appeared to be that if you appear publicly, it might not go well for you.
No, that's not the advice. I mean, there's parts of the advice that I can't comment on.
Why?
But
who's paying for Dentons?
Because
who's paying for Dentons?
The public.
Right. So why can't you comment?
Well, because then I would be before a court.
Why?
Because when the court issues a suppression order that says you can't talk about something, you can't talk about it.
So who's issued the suppression order? Do you have an agreement with Dentons that you don't talk publicly about what they tell you?
There are issues relating to the safety of individuals around the COVID-19 response and public commentary on it that the courts have indicated I cannot comment on, or anyone, including you, cannot comment on, and therefore we can't comment on them.
So even though we're paying for the spin doctors, and the spin doctors are telling you not to appear publicly, you sit here this morning in front of the biggest radio audience in this country, the same audience you will go to next year in an election campaign, and go, nothing to see here, I've done my job.
Well, you haven't asked me any questions. As I said, feel free. Every day I'm available to answer any questions on any matter of the COVID response, and you've chosen not to ask me any, but you're welcome to at any point.
Does Jacinda Ardern deserve to answer some questions to the public as well?
Well, that's a question for her.
She doesn't talk to New Zealand media anymore, apart from when she's promoting a book. So, as a person who knows her well, should she be answering questions?
Well, to be fair, Mike, I don't think she's spoken to you for quite some time.
No, I know.
But those are questions for her, not for me.
All right, listen, I've got to go. Chris Hipkins. Dentons are lawyers, by the way, just to clear that up, as opposed to spin doctors, although lawyers, of course, as we, I think, know, can be spin doctors. But just to make that clear.
For more from the Mike Hosking Breakfast, listen live to News Talk ZB from 6 a.m. weekdays, or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.